On November 30, 2005, business was running as usual at the Waterfront Diner in Union, New Jersey. Local commuters, truck drivers, and hospital staff on break were all sharing the same counter. The was until a customer stepped out into the parking lot to noticed something deeply unsettling. A foul odor was radiating from a parked vehicle surrounding a shorn flies buzzing against the window. When local police opened the trunk, they uncovered the dying body of 60-year-old man who had been executed with 2 gunshot wounds to the back. What makes this story extraordinary is not just the crime itself, but the timeline. The exact vehicles had been sitting completely undistributed in court diner for 6 full weeks. Hundreds of people had walked past it and waitress had parked rough alongside it, yet nobody bat an eye. Meanwhile, inside a federal courtrooms in Brooklyn, legal teams spent a whole month debating whether the man in the trunk was fugitive. The US government had no idea. The defendant on trial is already dead. This person is already dead. This was not a stranding missing person case. It was a man vanishing right in the middle of his federal prosecution. The man in question was Ricci, a high-ranking captain in the Genovese crime family, one of the most structured syndicates in American history. By the fall of 2005, Ricci was sitting at the defense table fighting a massive waterfront accident in the case in the pretend to put him away of the rest in his life. Then, one morning, Ricci simply did not show up. The judge issued an arrest warrant. The attorneys kept agreeing, and trial passed forward. The 12 jurors was instruction to ignore his absence, completely unaware that the man they were judging was voting inside from 20 miles away. On the next side, November 7, 2005, the jury delivered stunning verdict not guilty of all counts. Ricci had officially beaten the United States government expect. He was murdered weeks before the decision was ever read aloud. When authorities finally recovered his body, the cold reality of the situation set in. This was not random violence. It was a calculated move policies. Someone decided Ricci was simple too dangerous to leave alive during a federal trial. The police was found his dead body. He never come again. Why would the Genovese family eliminated on their own captain right before he was cleared all of the charges? To understand this mystery, we have to look far beyond the courtroom's walls. If you are enjoying this case breakdown, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more untold crime files. On paper, Ricci was born in 1945 and appeared as ordinary as it gets, working as a ligament dairy product salesman. His rap sheet showed minor convictions from 1979 for extorting restaurant owner for $4,800. It looks like the record of false low-level hustle, but the public files did not tell the whole story. The Genovese family mastered the art of staying invisible, while Ricci maintained his quiet blue-collar persona. Federal prosecutors knew there was actually an acting capo wielding immune authority over the same of most valuable territory in the underworld. A massive portion of goods entering the United States arrives through the major ocean ports, with New York and New Jersey handling billions in freight cargoes. Controlling these shipping docks and the unique and union labor force behind them gave a move an unbreakable hold on the entire local economy. Holding sway over the dock workers means having the power to decide whose cargo moved smoothly and once perishable goods sat rotting in the sun. Shipping just lines vaguely paid extortion money just to keep their operations moving without the artificial delays. The real cash cow, however, was quiet and moderate. Union benefit funds, healthcare and prescription plans had vast pools of capital. Prosecutors alleged Ricci funneled these lucrative services contract into the more aligned businesses, turning worker benefits into the multiple $100,000 cash stream. By early 2005, federal agents moved in, slapping Ricci and top union officials with fraud and racketeering charges. But the trial dates approach. The syndicates face a major dilemma. Facing dedicates in prisons, mob defendants were routinely offered bail. Bargains by prosecutions seeking corruption inside a crime family. Appealia is just not a legal strategy. It creates immense pressure for a defendant to flip and expose secrets that could not crumble the organization. And they have the trial free on 2005. Ricci refers to Pearl politely and chose to fight his charges as their trial. But to the mob bosses lighting and caption, gamble with and freedom means risking that he might turn enthronement if convicted. To eliminate that threat, they took matters in their own hands. On October 7, 2005, Ricci went missing, while the press and law enforcement haunted him as feeling fugitive. He was already died inside the diner trunk. The court processed without him trying a patent defendant. It was twist of target irony. The jury acquitted Ricci of every single charge, concluding that the government failed to prove the case. The verdict died a man. Ricci was not burned in a forest or thrown into the ocean. He was left in the trunk light next to the busy road. It was the silence message through the federal write-ups later. Capture mob figure discussing the murders, weapons. No one was ever officially convicted for his death. The story takes an incredible turn decades later. Ricci, co-defendant who was acquitted alongside him, went on to become the head of port union in 2024 when a massive strike shut down East Coast sport and impact the U.S. economy. The roots of the news story stretch delivery back on the 2005 murder of Lawrence Ricci.